This is a Code Ninja security advisory. Listen up. We are tracking a critical, unauthenticated remote code execution vulnerability. It is being actively exploited in the wild. This is an urgent briefing, so let's get straight to it.
This whole thing was uncovered by security researcher Aviral Srivastava. And what he said right here, that's the real heart of the matter. See, this isn't just some simple one-off bug you can patch and forget. No, this is a pattern. It's a class of vulnerability that was supposedly fixed before, but the real root cause, that dangerous behavior, was just left hiding on a parallel code path. The official designation is CVE 2026-33017. The target is a platform called Langflow, and the impact is full, unauthenticated remote code execution. If you're running this software, you need to pay very close attention to what comes next.
Okay, our briefing is going to happen in 4 phases. First, we'll cover the zero-day threat itself. Second, we're doing a mandatory comms check to make sure this channel is secure. Third, we'll do a deep dive into the analysis and how to fix it. And finally, the sign-off.
Let's begin. Phase 1, the 0 day. Our objective here is simple. Understand the immediate threat and the timeline of exactly how this all went down.
The severity here is not up for debate. This thing has a CVSS version 4 score of 9.3. That is critical. To put that in perspective, that means it's incredibly easy to exploit and can cause the maximum amount of damage. It doesn't need any user interaction, and the attacker needs 0 special privileges. It's basically a wide open door.
So, what is Langflow? Well, it's a super popular open-source platform for building AI applications. Think of it as a drag-and-drop tool for making chatbots and other complex AI workflows. And with over 146,000 stars on GitHub, you can bet it's being used all over the place, which means the potential blast radius for this vulnerability is absolutely massive.
Now this timeline, it tells a critical story. The initial disclosure was responsible. It started back on February 25th. But look here. By March 25th, CISA added it to their known exploited vulnerabilities catalog. That means one thing and one thing only. Attackers are already using this in the wild. This isn't theoretical. The clock is ticking, and for federal agencies, the deadline to patch has already passed.
Okay, the threat is identified. Now we move to phase 2, the comms check. Before we get to mitigation, we have to secure this intelligence channel. Your engagement here is critical for our real-time threat assessment.
I need you to execute 3 directives. 1. Establish a secure link to this channel. Subscribe, and more importantly, activate all notifications. You need this intel in real time. 2. Acknowledge receipt of this advisory with a like. That confirms you've received this briefing. 3. Report your status in the comms channel below. Just comment, patched or vulnerable. This is crucial for us to gauge the operational blast radius. Execute these directives now.
Comms check confirmed. We're proceeding to phase 3, the deep dive. Now we get to the tactical core, the vulnerability analysis and the mitigation protocol.
Okay, so this is the crucial part. You have to understand why this isn't just a repeat of the last major Langflow RCE. The old bug was on a validation endpoint, and the fix was pretty simple. Just add an authentication check. Easy enough. But this new bug, it's on a public build endpoint. It is designed to be unauthenticated so people can use public-facing chatbots. You can't just lock it down. You'd break the whole thing.
The flaw itself is dangerously simple. This public endpoint is supposed to load a flow that's already saved securely in the database. But it also accepts an optional data parameter in the request. This lets an unauthenticated attacker completely bypass the stored version and just supply their own malicious flow, packed with whatever Python code they want.
The path to execution here is a direct, straight line. The attacker sends one single post request. That malicious data gets passed right into the graph building pipeline. For every malicious node the attacker created, the code eventually hits a function called prepare global scope. And at the end of that chain, the attacker's code is fed directly into a Python exec call with absolutely 0 sandboxing. Game over.
The blast radius is total system compromise. An attacker can read all of your environment variables. We're talking LLM API keys, database credentials, cloud tokens, everything. They get full read-write access to the server's entire file system. And from there, it's trivial to establish a persistent reverse shell to pivot and start moving laterally inside your network.
So, here is your mitigation protocol, your marching orders. If you are running any version of Langflow up to and including 1.8.1, you are vulnerable, period. The required action is to upgrade to version 1.9.0 or later immediately. For detection, use Qualys QID 733892, or run zero queries to hunt down every single Langflow instance on your network. Do not delay on this.
We are now in the final phase, the sign-off. It's important you understand why we do these disclosures.
This quote really gets to the core lesson here. This isn't just about Langflow. It's about a pattern of incomplete fixes that we see all the time. A vulnerability gets patched on one endpoint, but the fundamental flaw, that dangerous code pattern, is never audited across the entire code base. Developers fix the symptom, not the disease, and that leaves these parallel code paths just wide open for the next attacker.
And that brings me to my final takeaway. I want you to ask yourself a broader question. Your last vulnerability was patched, yes. But did your team go back and actually audit for these parallel code paths? Did you find every other place where that same dangerous pattern might exist? Because I guarantee you, the attackers are looking.
That concludes this security advisory. My directive is clear. Patch your systems, audit your code, and hunt for these patterns. Stay vigilant, stay secure.